and I would like to share more with you, but because of time, I want to respect the time. I want to now take the pleasure and honor to introduce His Excellency and the Ambassador Robinson Githai. Ambassador Robinson Githai was a member. Ambassador Robinson Githai was a member of Parliament in Kenya. He is my senior in politics, and he was a minister, a very powerful minister in a Minister for Finance. Currently, he has been appointed and trusted by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, to be the ambassador of Kenya to the United States. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome him. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophia. Assalamu alaikum. Let me take this opportunity to say how grateful I was when I was invited to come and share a few words with you. Let me say that since I came here, I've received a very warm and wonderful welcome. I had even a welcoming party at the airport. How many ambassadors are welcomed by such a big, large crowd at the airport? Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Wasame Ali, OIZ. Yeah, thank you for all the efforts you have made in arranging this trip. And to tell you just one thing, that if you don't do something, you'll be criticized. If you do something, you'll be criticized. So you better do something so that you are criticized. Thank you. And also to your organization. Really, I think it could even have been more up in the sense that it deals with the reconciliation and development. Let me also take this opportunity to thank Faiza, who has been very kind to ferry us around. He has stopped looking after his businesses. Why is Faiza? Why is there? Oh, he's there. Please stand. We would like to say thank you. Thank you for taking time off from business to take us around. Today, I spent the whole day trying to meet people, trying to meet the members of the business community. I think I met Abraham Ali of East African community, doing a very good job looking for jobs for fellow East Africans. Whatever he is, when you see him, tell him he really impressed me. He's doing a wonderful, wonderful job. I also visited Abubakar Mosque. I was also taken around by the director. And again, I really felt honored to be taken around the mosque. And I was even presented with a number of books on Quran and also on Muslim faith. Thank you to the directors and seen one here of Abubakar Mosque. Thank you very much. And also a wonderful lunch at Kilimanjaro Hotel. Yeah. So thank you again. It was really nice. We had good African food. It was a good change from the American food. Yeah. So thank you very much. And our mama here, thank you for that wonderful, wonderful music. Wape vidonge vyao. Wakimeza? Shauri yao. Asante mama. You are still strong and your voice is still beautiful. Thank you very much. It's really a blessing. Really a blessing. First, I want to say that Kenya has been a friend of the Somali community for the last, I would say even since independence, but at least for the last 30 years. I think that's a fact. Kenya, and when I say Somali community, I mean the entire community. I will not say Kenyan Somali or Somali, no, because you are everywhere. You are here, you are in Kenya, you are in Somalia, you are in Kenya, you are in Minnesota, you are in Ethiopia, in South Sudan, Djibouti, even in UK, isn't it? So I'll just talk about the Somali community. So Kenya has been a friend of the Somali community, particularly in the last 30 years. After the civil war broke in Somalia, and life became unbearable and intolerable for the people of Somalia, and therefore they had to seek a refuge. And the place they sought refuge was Kenya. And they were welcomed with both hands. And since then, we have been hosting the largest refugee camp in the world. At the moment, it has over 600,000 people. The only country that attempted to help the Somalis was the US in 1993. When they brought in an armed army in an effort to bring peace to the country. But that did not succeed. I think you know the history. I will not repeat what happened. And the president recalled his troops when the job had not even started. Since then, there has been no lawful order in Somalia as a whole. Kenya, in this respect, has invested a lot in the peace efforts in Somalia. We hosted the peace efforts in Kenya for a very long time, trying to get the militia, the warlords, the elders, and everybody to come together and come up with an interim constitution. That time I was a minister, in the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and it was our responsibility to nurture the peace talks. And I'm glad to say that our efforts paid off, because an interim transition of federal government was initiated, and the intention was that it would then be able to impose its will and power on the entire country, so that then peace could prevail. Unfortunately, this has not happened. Somalia is still not peaceful, and therefore we still have the refugees. I want to answer all the issues that have been raised, and I think by the time I finish, there will be no need of any question, because I'm going to answer all the questions. If you still want to answer a question, then you'll be saying that I did not address all the issues. So, Kenya, we don't consider the Somali community a burden. We consider it to be a very important community. And you can see this from the investments that they have made, for example, in Isli, the biggest mall is owned by the Somali community. South Sea, Nairobi West, all those and all the apartments coming up in Nairobi, the transport industry, the matatu, are owned by the Somali community. So they have prospered in Kenya. And that's what I'm saying, we don't consider Somali community a burden. We consider Somali community as an investment. Because you have that gift of business. When I went to the village mall and the Ogaden mall, I mean, you can see, you can see the business people. You can see business people. Yeah, this is what I was told. That's what it's called. So I'm only repeating what I was told. Yeah? But you can see, yeah? You can see the business acumen. In fact, most of them were being, the people I saw were the ladies. Yeah? Yeah, isn't it? So you have that business acumen, and for us in Kenya, we would like to nurture that business acumen and to encourage the Somali community to invest even more. And as a government, even from a political point of view, the Somali community is very important to Kenya. For example, my Minister for Foreign Affairs, Abasador Dr. Amina Mohammed, comes from this community, isn't it? Foreign Affairs Minister is a very important ministry. You don't just give it to somebody, anybody there, you know. It's somebody you trust. Yeah? Somebody you know is capable of ventilating Kenya's diplomatic position in every sphere of the world. Yeah? And there are many more. We have Adan Mohammed, Minister for Industrialization, and my friend Adan Duale, the leader of majority. And you know we have a new constitution. People still don't know what the leader of majority means. The leader of majority is the third most powerful position in Kenya. It's more powerful than the previous position of Prime Minister. Because now we have got an executive president, an executive deputy president instead of vice president. The next position is leader of majority in parliament. Is one who deals with all government matters and legislation. Yeah? So politically, the Somali community cannot say it has been isolated. And there are many more. There are other PSs. Yeah? Many important PSs all over. If you come to the army, until recently, who was the head of the army in Kenya? Yeah, General Muhammad Mohammed. Yeah? For a long, long, long time. You don't entrust, no president would entrust his army to a person he does not trust. Isn't it? And there are many more in the senior ranks in the army. So again, the point I'm making is that the Somali community is an important community in Kenya and has been recognized as such. The reason they are giving for attacking Kenya is because our soldiers in Somalia is not good enough. Kenya is not the only country that has soldiers there. Ethiopia is there. Uganda is there. Rwanda is there. And I think there's another, I think even Sierra Leone is there. Djibouti is there. So that's not a good reason. In fact, I think the elder who spoke here is one who actually said the truth, that the sole purpose of Al-Shabaab is to cause a division between Kenya government and the Somali community. That seems to be the sole purpose. Don't forget, this is a faceless enemy, formless enemy, difficult to establish because it's formless, shapeless, and faceless. When you are dealing with that kind of enemy, a few mistakes are about to occur, and they have occurred, and it's good to admit that they have occurred, a few mistakes there, here and there. You are aware of the major incidences, the Westgate attack, Westgate Mall attack, the Garissa University attack. and many others that have occurred. So Kenya government is trying to eliminate and eradicate this new enemy that we previously we were not aware of. And when you are faced with something new, you are bound to make one or two mistakes as you try to clear. But the mistakes, if any, have not been deliberate. It's trying in all sense to sort it out. Initially, we thought we could do this militarily. But we have realized that for us to be able to eliminate Al-Shabaab, we have to use other forms in addition to military. So, one, we are using now the elders, and that's why I'm here. I want to appeal to the elders because the institution of elders is the only institution that is respected, that is working, and that has been in existence for a long time. So I'm appealing to the elders to help us eliminate and eradicate this Al-Shabaab. We are also using the faith, the mosques. You remember another wave came when particularly all the mosques in Mombasa were taken over by very radical groups. The good news is that government has been able to return all those mosques to the rightful elected leadership. That has been done now. So the mosques are back in the hands of elected, rightful leadership. That has been done in an effort, again, to eradicate this. The youth, we have also realized that we cannot win this war unless we involve the youth also. Because most of them are the ones who have become radicalized. The ones who are moving to Syria and to other places to fight. So we have now in Kenya started what we are calling Youth Enterprise Fund in an effort to give youth all they require is simply a business plan. No capital, no collateral is required. So they can be able to access funding and start their own businesses, like the way I saw here. Yeah, like the way I saw here. So, again, we have realized that we have to use the youth also for us to be able to eradicate this menace. And in addition, this year, the President Uhuru Kenyatta came up with the Weso Fund. Again, an effort to increase funding to the youth, to the women, and to the disabled. We also have Women Enterprise Fund, again, to capture the women and bring them into productive enterprises. Then let me come to the visas. You say that visas are difficult to get. I'm actually surprised. I'd like to know the person who has recently, since I arrived, who has recently come to DC to apply for a visa. Because we issue visas on the same day that we receive them. Now, you said your application, we receive it, we work on it the same day, and we post it back to you on the same day. So, please, come and apply for your visas. It will take just a day. Yeah? And once the Kenya embassy has issued you a visa, you should not be asked any other question in Nairobi. You have a visa. So again, something I'll take up in Nairobi, that should not happen, because before we issue the visa, we have gone through all your documentation. So that is not government policy. That is probably a renegade kind of immigration officer. No, that's not government policy. Government policy, if you have a visa, you are entitled to all the respect. You are entitled to everybody being present and welcoming. That is why we want tourists to come to Kenya. How will you come back again if you have had a nasty experience at the immigration? That is not government policy. Now, the famous wall. I think it has been misunderstood. When government said that is going to put up a wall, what we meant is not putting up a wall of the 1,500 kilometers. What we meant is on entry points, on border points. Yeah? Because at the moment, what's happening, the issue is that, say you are the border either in Moyale or Madeira. At any given time, you don't know whether you are in Kenya or you are in Somalia or you are in Ethiopia. In fact, what people do, during the day, they go either to Somalia or Ethiopia to go and have lunch, and then in the evening to come and sleep. So there's no, so you don't even know where the border starts, where it ends. So it's only on border points. Yeah? So that is very clear. So that is, there's some procedure. You know, not just walking in and out. At will, even in a building, there is a door for you to enter. So that is all what the government is trying to do. It's not what I think you have read, that we are putting up a stone wall, Berlin Wall, China Wall. No, we are not putting up any China Wall. We are not putting up any Berlin Wall. It is purely for border control purposes. Garissa University. There is no good reason why Garissa University should not be reopened. There is absolutely no good reason. In fact, 2 weeks ago, the students went to the university and said, please open the university. We want to resume our studies. So I will be writing to the Minister for Education to tell him to instruct the Senate, because it's only the Senate of the university that can open. Yeah? The Senate should meet and reopen the university, or give a program of reopening the university. There's no good reason why the only university in northeastern region should not be reopened or should be closed as of now. You know, when the colonial boundaries were made, you know, we were not consulted. Some people set up somewhere in city of Berlin, in Germany, and drew a map of Africa. Say, that is Kenya. Yeah? That is Uganda. That is Tanzania. What happened? When they came on the ground, you find in one house, same house, one bedroom is in Somalia, and the sitting room is in Kenya. If you try to tell the Maasai of Tanzania and Kenya that there is a boundary, they don't know of any boundary. They say, we follow where the grass is. Where the grass grows, that is where we go. Yeah? And the East African community is trying to address those regions. That is why for East African community, countries that are members, first of all, we have said there's no visa. This visa is a foreign animal to us. Yeah? So for East African region, there's no visa. If you are Kenyan, you don't require a visa to go to Tanzania, to Rwanda, to Burundi, to Uganda. You don't. Hopefully, when South Sudan joins the East African community, when Somalia joins the East African community, and many other countries, that will be the same. So we'll be able now to do away with the visas. We have even gone further. We said, what are these passports? Who came up with these passports? So we have said, if you're a member of the East African community, you don't need a passport to visit another country. You only require your ID. And that is happening in the East African community. And similarly, when South Sudan joins, Somalia joins, and any other country joins, the same process will come. So we are for regional integration. And it's something that we support. That's something that we really support. It is not government policy to engage in any illegal act. And in fact, any person, whether a police officer or whoever who engages in an illegal action, under normal circumstances, action should be taken on them. Therefore, asking for a bribe, that is against the Constitution, is against our own laws. And you should never accept to give any bribe. You should never, humiliation is not even allowed in our Constitution. It's illegal also. Brutality is not allowed in our Constitution. It's illegal. Therefore, nobody should ever engage in a brutality at all. Communal punishment is not allowed. It's not known anywhere by our laws. Yeah? So, the sin of one person should not be transmitted to the community. It's illegal. So, I'm here. As I said, I've started this dialogue so that the few issues that Al-Shabaab has brought upon us, we are able to sort them out. I'll come again. This is not the first and the last. I'll come again. I've received very wonderful welcome. And therefore, and you can see I was sitting on a throne. I've never sat on a throne, so I don't know whether you are going to give it to me to take it back to DC. This chair I was given is more beautiful than even the chair that I use in the embassy. That shows the respect that you have accorded to me and to my embassy and to my staff. Let me just finish by introducing members of the Kenyan embassy. If you could just stand. Yeah. On my left, that is Lydia Gaki, our administrative attaché. That is Agnes Kirui, our secretary, first secretary, in charge of economics. And that is Betty Bensoi, our social secretary. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for listening to me. I will come again. I have had a wonderful time here. Thank you very much.
Ambassador, you covered all the questions that they gave me. So, but there's only one question that you did not cover. They are asking when will be the embassy open a consular here in Minneapolis? Yes. And he's adding, is it gonna be Somali or is it gonna be someone else?
Yes. Thank you so much. In fact, it's I'm sorry about that. In fact, it was one on my list. I wanted to come and tell you the good news that our President Uhuru Kenyatta approved the establishment of a honorary consul here in Minneapolis. We advertised for it. I'm sure you saw it. Yeah? Yes. We advertised in our website. We received applications. A team came here and interviewed the people who had applied for the position. They got 3 names, and which you have sent to Nairobi. We are just waiting for a one from Nairobi on the person they have appointed. And it's face of Kenya. The 3 candidates represent the face of Kenya. Yeah. So let's wait for what Nairobi will approve, and then we move from there. When that honorary consul is appointed here, you'll be able to get your visas from here. You'll be able to get your renewal passports from here. So Israel is going to work for you. Lastly, I was honored by the Minneapolis City Council. I was touched. The whole council was there. And these are through the efforts Abdul Wasame, who was here. So I would like to encourage you, next time I come here, I want to hear of a congressman or woman from the Somali community. I want to hear of a governor from the Somali community. Yeah? You are here. You must also get involved in the political process. You are here. Thank you.
My name is Mahmoud Osman Mohammed, and I am the art administrator for the Somali Artifact and Cultural Museum. What an honor it is for me to be here as we welcome Kenya's ambassador to the United States, Robinson Gathai. Welcome. The Somali community here in Minnesota is represented by many organizations. Among them is the Somali Artifact and Cultural Museum, founded by my father, Osman Ali. Tonight, we have a special treat for you guys. Traditional dancing play a big role in the Somali culture. Here to perform, making their debut, is the Somali Museum. The Somali Museum Dance Tribute.
mudanayaal marweyn aad baan idin salaamay magacaygu waxa weeyaan Ibrahim Muuse Colaad waxaanu halkan idinku soo bandhigaynaa dhaanto aad iyo aad u qurux badan inkastoo idinka xunahay inkastoo groupka dhan ka wada nimidnay halkan waxaan u joognaa 3 qof baan ku joognaa waxaanu rabnaa inaan idin tusno dhaqankeena Soomaaliyeed siduu yahay groupka dhan cid rabta inay daawato kowda luuliya diyaar baan u nahay welcome. The other thing that I want to say welcome is the another person that I want to say welcome is the ambassador of Kenya. Welcome to Minneapolis. Welcome to Open Hands. Kahor intaanad gelin dhaantadayda bilowgeeda waxaan idin tusayaa halal ka mid ah midha dhaantadeena ka mid ah. Hunoyanisto hoyano hunoyanistaba hagale hunoy horta haybke heda ka timid hunoy kuwa ciide hey galan hunoy laguca hambixiyo hunoy kuwa ciide hey galan hunoy laguca herbixiyo hunoy sawd kasa hariyo hunoy Somaliwe hey nunahay. walaal gabadh walaal ma isbaran karaa walaal magacaaga saddexaan qoomiyad ka soo jeeda ma sheegi kartaa
magacayga saddexaan waa Arweyda Cabdirashiid Maxamed waxaan ka soo jeedaa aan halkan u taaganahay qoomiyadda Soomaaliyeed walaal xabad aan taa jacma ka siinaa
Sote tumefurahika leo hapa kutujia. Karibu Bwana Balozi Robertson Getia. Tumefurahika wewe hapa kutujia. Mungu atakubariki akupe njema afya wewe. Wape vidonge vyao, wakimeza wakitema ni shauri yao. Wape vidonge vyao, wakimeza wakitema ni shauri yao. Mbele yenu nasimama kusema haya maneno, tueleweni lazima yaletayo minong'ono. Mbele yenu nasimama kusema haya maneno, tueleweni lazima yaletayo minong'ono. Afrika ndiye mama, kwa nini ufarikano jamaa? Wape vidonge vyao, wakimeza wakitema ni shauri yao. Wape vidonge vyao, wakimeza wakitema ni shauri yao. Ni ndugu hatugawiki, tungawe kwa mbalimbali. Maovu haya tufiki, tumeshikana kikweli. Ni ndugu hatugawiki, tungawe kwa mbalimbali. Maovu haya tufiki, tumeshikana kikweli. Na hudumu urafiki wa Kenya na wa Somali jamaa. Wape vidonge vyao, wakimeza wakitema ni shauri yao. Wape vidonge vyao, wakimeza wakitema ni shauri yao. Wakimbizi kukusanya kuishi kwa urafiki, kwa wema mulo ufanya bila ya kutupa dhiki. Wakimbizi kukusanya kuishi kwa urafiki, kwa wema muloufanya bila ya kutupa dhiki. Hongera nchi ya Kenya, Mungu ataibariki jamaa. Wape vidonge wakimeza wakitema ni shauri yao. Wape vidonge wakimeza ni shauri yao.